Okay, so I'm gonna make this video and try something I've never done before. I'm really hoping that it works out, but we'll find out in this video, I guess. So I want to take this picture the way it is, and I was, you know, kind of really debating because I like the way it is right now. It's painted with the Fort York red from Fusion, and the white background is actually called Casement, another Fusion paint. And then I stained it with the Fusion Cappuccino color. It's called a stain and finishing oil. I stained these pieces of the wood, and I like it the way it is, you know, the red and the white. It really stands out, but I really wanted to try aging this and make it kind of look vintage looking with the stain. So I'm hoping this turns out. If it doesn't, it's a total disaster on my part, and I have to start over again and leave it as it is. But so wish me luck, because I'm going to give this a try. Okay, so you just take off these pieces and set them aside. I'm going to start with the lobster first. That way, if the lobster doesn't work, then I can use that background. Just cut out another lobster and use the background again. All right, so let me get this out. So again, this has been painted with 2 coats of Fusion Fort York red. It's a nice bright red color. I love it. And I'm going to use my really, I don't know, it's called like a crunchy brush. It's really bristly. The bristles are really hard in this brush, and I'm just going to literally just put this on and hopefully wipe it back off again and make this lobster kind of look vintage in a way. So, and I really want to just slap it on to get all the edges and all the nooks and crannies in there. I don't care how it's going on, because I'm going to wipe back most of it anyways, so I'm not worried about brush strokes or anything like that with this. Just getting it on and getting it all in these pieces. Alright, so again, I have never ever tried this. This is the first time doing this. I created a picture frame earlier. It came up pretty cool. So let's see what happens. Show you get all the nooks and crannies, and then get down here. This is the hardest part, is kind of painting yourself in a corner, painting it to the point where you don't have a place to grab it anymore. All right, so I've got all the stain on there. Now I'm going to try and wipe it back. And then hopefully use this vintage looking. I'm not going to worry about getting right to the very edges, because I do want some of this stain to stay on. Especially kind of, I guess, the extremities here. You do kind of want it even as well, so I'm just going to wipe it back a little. Take a look. I think that's kind of cool looking. So it gives it this vintage, you know, not brand spanking new, but it's been around for a little while. Lobster design. Okay, like I said, and leave it a little bit. I always go back to and kind of add some as well if I wanted to. Just lightly feather this brush across. It's a great thing about this bristly brush is you really get just kind of random streaky kinds of lines in it. Which makes it way easier to kind of make something look naturally old, I guess. Maybe we need one of these super smooth brush to make things look brand new. Try that. Okay, so that's my lobster. As you can see, I got some of the edges done. And I set him aside, let him dry. And of course, like you can see that it dripped down along the sides, which is what I was looking for anyways, just to darken up the edges. See me turn on the side like that. So I'm gonna leave that to dry. And you get a nice little outline of the lobster. Okay, maybe I'll put some paper towel down. Should have gotten some extra parchment paper. Like I said, I've never done it before, so I'm not knowing what I'm really expecting. I'll put that down there. So the next thing I'm going to try to vintage up is this white. And this is the one that's like freaking me out because it's white. But in theory, a lot of it should come back off again and we should be good to go. I think what I'm going to do though is just kind of do the outer edges and leave the middle alone if I can. If I can make it look okay like that. Well, let's see. Maybe I'll do the whole thing. See, it's really hard to, like, if you leave the middle alone, it's really hard to try and make it look natural. So, let's try this. Because you see what I mean? Like, when you're getting all those white areas that my brush didn't actually touch. Okay. So, let's see if I rub a little harder. Will some of that more stain come off? It looks like it's not going to, so I'm going to try a little soap and water. And again, I don't know how this is going to work because this is oil-based and oil and water don't go well together. I'm hoping that maybe it'll help take some of this off. Maybe not. Maybe that's how well it works. I can't. Soap and water won't even take any of it off. Okay. So that came out a lot darker than I was hoping, but that's okay too, because like I said, this is an experiment on my part. I think I'm going to go back though and kind of deliberately drag some of the stain up on the edges and the sides here. And I guess we'll see when this dries how the lobster looks on it. It might look pretty cool. You'll have to be the judge of that when it's finished. I'll put it all together and post the picture with it as well. I think that's it. A few streaks through there. All right, so we've got casement with cappuccino stain on top. And the Fort York red, again with the cappuccino stain on top. And then the cappuccino stain for the wood frame. It's going to go on it after that. Like this. Oh. When it's all dry, of course. And then that red lobster is going to go on top. That looks really old and really vintage looking. Like I said, we'll wait till this dries to see what happens.